guys, so today I am doing a super requested video, and that is how to take color-coded notes. A lot of you are asking for either another note video or how to do color-coded notes. And since I already have my original note video, which you can click to see right now, I thought that color-coded notes was a really great sort of video to incorporate into my original note video. So I take you through 3 different ways to take notes if you have to take notes in a list form, if you have to take notes in a chart form, or if you have to take notes in a outline form. When I was doing some research about color-coded notes so I could pick up some tips to share with you guys, I was so underwhelmed with the amount of information on this subject that's on the internet, which is crazy because you can find anything on the internet. So I'm really excited for this and that I can share some of my tips with you guys. With all that being said, let's go ahead and hop right into the video. Okay guys, so I have written out 3 different types of notes in my color coding technique. That way I could show you. Now, color coding can work so many different ways. The way that I mostly use is with colored pens. So I have 4 different colored pens here. They are from the brand Bic. And they came just in a big pack. You get 2 of all of them except for the pink one. You get 3 of the pink. There are also color coding techniques that focus more on highlighting. However, I sort of like using the pens a little bit better. I just think that it's cleaner, and I am all about having super clean notes. The hardest part about color coding notes is you have to move very quickly. You're switching back and forth with different colors. Your teacher is talking very quickly. So that's the challenge when it comes to color coding notes. When it comes to something like this, you may have to rewrite them when you get home, which will help you study. It's not a bad idea to rewrite your notes when you get home. It helps you retain the information when you rewrite them, so that's not a bad thing, but it's definitely possible to do this in class even when your teacher is talking quickly. You just have to have a clear layout for what colors you're going to use for what thing and just go as fast as you can. So I started off with a black pen. You should definitely have a black pen also. That way I could write the title of what it is. So this is Diphthongs of R, and the date at the top of the page. And then from there, it just looked a little plain, so I just added a little pink up there. But from there, I decided that what I wanted to do was have the main subject. So this is, by the way, what I'm showing you right now is if you are making things in a list form, this is how I would color code it. So I have the main subject, which is this type of diphthong, and then in blue, I have the definition of what it is. So this is the ear sound in the, phonetic alphabet. I included this rule here that says use when you hear the R followed by a consonant or by nothing. So what I did is I went in with my purple pen again and just underlined that since it was something very specifically important to what I was talking about. And then I used a green pen to write the examples of words that use this diphthong. Basically, by using these different colors to show different things, you can very quickly find what you were looking for. So I know that I can look right here in the purple writing to find what the actual symbols are. I know something in blue is going to be the definition and something in green is going to be the example, and that's it. And then at the very bottom, right down here, I used my pink pen to write just this little rule that wasn't sort of included in this, and then once again I used green to write the example. I did switch it up. I didn't keep it in green because I wanted to color code it so that the word just written in the normal alphabet, mother, was in one color, and then it written in the phonetic alphabet was in another color. So I just used that to show the examples of different things. So this is, in general, how I would organize a list to put it into more, because most people aren't learning about diphthongs, so just to put it into more relatable terms, if I was making a list of definitions, like the word mother, I would write the word mother in purple, I would write the definition in blue, and then I might write an example of the sentence using the word mother in green. So this is an example of how you can incorporate color coding into making charts. So once again, I just used my black pen to write the title and the date at the top, and I also used my black pen to draw the outline of the chart. The thing with that is black pens are not only very bold because it's in black, but also then, like, if I did this in a color, it would sort of distract from the actual information. You want to make sure that the information is sort of the star of the show here. So this is once again using the phonetic alphabet just because those were the notes that I was copying from to set up this video. So the way that I did this was I used a pink pen to write the different things that I need to know around the chart, like how I was supposed to read this chart. So for example, if I was making a graph, I would write, you know, the different numbers in the pink color. That way I could read how I'm supposed to read the chart. So I did those in pink. I used the blue to write little notes about what I was learning about here. So this says jaw closes less, tongue arches more, in comparison to in the bottom here when it says tongue arch low, jaw opens more, tongue arches less. So that gives you an idea of sort of, if you have little notes to jot in about different things, you can use that. You can also use a blue color. Once again, if you were making a sort of graph, you use the pink for the numbers, but you can use the blue to write what the numbers represent. So if the numbers represent the number of times that someone goes to the bathroom in a day, then you would write number of bathroom visits in blue color. So that's that. And then inside the chart, I used, once again, the blue here. I had a little note that I wanted to fill in here, so I wrote it in the blue color. And then I used one color for one thing. So this was so that I could write the phonetic symbol. And then I used the purple color to write an example of a word that goes with that phonetic symbol. So once again, to put it into more relatable terms, you could do 2 lines in 2 different colors. You could mark along the lines whatever you had to. You could make the line one color and the markings another color. Or if you have a chart similar to this, you can write the phonetic or the thing that you're talking about in one color and then an example of it in another color, or the definition of it, or whatever it is you have to include. And then once again at the bottom here, I just use the pink color to write in a little rule, an extra little whatever of something that was coming up. And this last example I think is the best one because it relates more directly to how you're actually going to be taking your notes. This is using an outline format, which is mostly how I take my notes. I may not use these symbols directly, but basically this is how I take notes, and this is what I talked about in my original note video. Once again, I use black just to write along the top what I was talking about, and then I go in. So the overall subject that I'm talking here is France in the late 15th century through the 17th century. So I wrote that in one color. That is the main subject at hand here. Then I wrote the first point about it in blue. So early 16th century, France maintains relationship with Italy. So that is the main subject that I'm going to talk about in this little bit, and then all the notes that I had to take about that are written in this pink color. So France is affected by the spirit, and then number 2, I had a date here, and so I just sort of outlined that or boxed it with blue. That way I could see that it was a date there very specifically. And then I switched back to my blue color because we were still talking about France, late 15th century through 17th century, but this was a new point. This isn't about France's relationship with Italy. Now it's about theater in schools prior to the 16th century in France. So once again, I use the same technique. My first notes about that are in this pink color. There's a date here, so I put that in a square with some blue color. Here I did incorporate a highlighter into my notes. The reason for that is because my teacher specifically said that I needed to know that for the test. And so I just went in with a highlighter. That way I knew that that was something super important that I had to pay attention to. And then underneath this subtopic, there was more subtopics, so I just went in with yet another color to incorporate that into this subject here. And then I went back to the pink to write the last subject under letter B. So the great thing about this is that it really helps to keep you organized. You're not sort of searching through a sea of black pen. Anywhere where you see green, you know that that's going to be the overall subject that you're looking for. So if I'm looking specifically through a ton of notes for France late 15th century through the 17th century, I'm going to be able to just look at the green things very quickly. And then from there, it's the same concept. You're going to be able to look for blue things very specifically if you want the things that just generally relate to that subject. If you need more specifics, you're going to look for pink. If you need even more specifics, you're gonna look for purple. And if you're looking for things that are going to be very important when it comes to your tests, or something that your teacher pointed out is super important to know, you're going to be able to find highlighted things such as this. So that's it for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I hope that it's helpful as you start to transition back into school. I am maybe done with back to school videos now. I'm not totally sure. If there's something else that you guys are still dying to see, please let me know. I definitely want to do some more DIY organization stuff, which will sort of relate to school, but I won't be considering it back to school stuff. So definitely DIY organization, DIY fall stuff. We're gonna get into Halloween time, so I'm gonna be doing tons of DIYs. I really want to do a lot more DIYs. I want to do a lot more cooking videos and just sort of incorporate more things into my channel, but tons and tons of DIYs because I know it's your favorite and I love making DIY videos. So leave your DIY requests down in the comment section, that way I can make them for you guys. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! Oh my god, it's so hot in here. It's like 95 degrees outside. Why is this happening? And an apartment tour. Let's do an apartment tour. I just have to finish my bedroom because I've done absolutely nothing in there.